Hi everybody. It's been a long time since I've been online and done a posting. I am right smack in the middle of the belly of probably the beast of my life. I'm certain that if you're watching this, you have a beast in your life too. And I've been running from mine my whole life. For any of you that have followed me or watched any of my videos, you know that it's been pretty intense. The last 6 years have been one massive, major blow to another. And it started with getting diagnosed at 38 with diabetes, and man, that really brought me face to face with one of my major coping skills around how I managed to survive the emotional overload. And I had this long track record of constantly putting myself in relationships and friendships and life situations that are always firing off great justifications for running to my coping skills. So for me, I was raised in a home that food was the drug. Food was what cemented everything, whether it was good or bad, fearful or joyful, none of that mattered. But what did matter was to run to food, to escape or cement in the moment. And so at 38, how convenient that I receive a diagnosis that is all about my relationship with food. And I jumped balls to the wall in, I am not going to let this disease get me. I am going to whip this sick relationship with food into shape, and I'm going to step into ultimate control. But I didn't realize that in doing so and being so forceful, that I was also denying all of the other changes that were occurring. The relationships that I had were suffering, and who I was as a woman and a wife and a mom were all slowly, sabaciously evolving. And I used creating mastery of, I used the mastery of the discipline of my health with exercise and nutrition as the next addiction. And it denied me just simply being with the emotional ramifications of all of the lifetime of fears and hurts and uncertainties. And that which we resist persists, and nothing leaves our bodies until we acknowledge it. We don't have to fix it. We're supposed to acknowledge it. It's part of the beautiful manufacture and creation of this incredible human body. And from the diagnosis of diabetes to the waking up one morning and discovering that I have spent my entire life completely unaware of my own physical body, years after I lost all the weight and recognized that I was so busy giving that I wasn't giving to myself. I was taking from me and not expecting for any care to be given in return that filled my cup. And I'm sure that you understand what that means, because it's people will express love to you and sometimes it doesn't feel like love. It just goes right past you. And it becomes less about, wow, thank you so much for filling my cup. I feel so loved and seen and heard, to, why don't you notice me? Here I am, this magnificent creature who's so incredibly intelligent and wise and strong and capable, yet I don't feel seen and I don't feel heard and I don't feel wanted, which of course led to a divorce. And I still carry a great deal of pain that I didn't step into my authentic self sooner in my life and recognize my value sooner, because I could have saved a great deal of time and heartache trying to manufacture something that wasn't ever there. And for that, I jumped immediately into not feeling, pushing forward and pushing so hard. And I pushed to create connection and value and relationships to fill my cup, while at the exact same time I was in complete denial of the amount of heartbreak and frustration that comes from seeing something that you believe for so long come crashing down, and recognizing that I'm completely responsible for the lie that I've been living, and the heartache and brokenness of recognizing the truth means that I'm the one responsible. I can't put any of the responsibility on my ex-husband. I would like to. I would like to point fingers and stomp my feet. But the truth of it is, I created it. I made it acceptable to be treated the way that I was, and I made it so that it was okay to not notice me, to not engage. And I turned around and I used extreme discipline to suppress all of the emotional ramifications. And then my mother's health declines, and the norm of being her guardian goes from a stress to an inner agony as I watch her